Hello gamers, this is Wacht am Rhein GTPG with font Thurging tweaks with lot of image changes by me, Dineos, using mostly Battlefield Europe units icons. A few words about this map. It is one of the most difficult maps of the GTPG as a whole. It is about Operation Wacht am Rhein, December 1944, or known as Battle of the Bulge or the Ardennes Offensive, but do not look for any similarity with the historical setup of forces or about an accurate geographical map. But even though the scenario lacks historical accuracy, it is a great map to play and offers a real challenge to any player. After talking with Goose, I came up with the idea of publishing a video about my second attempt with this scenario, which ended up with a decisive victory. So, you see the map right on your screen right now. Here you see the Air Force split. We'll talk in a minute. Let's talk about the battle groups. So, we have two battle groups. The North battle group. Their objective is to step back and create a circle, which is a defensive perimeter, you see here on the screen, with the aim to eliminate attacking forces and then going west to attack the map objectives. Now let's talk for the south. This is the south battle group, which retreats immediately in order to create a safe distance from the masses of enemy artillery. By doing so, Allied units will be exposed by coming forward without any artillery support, enabling their ultimate destruction. The final objective for the South battle group is then to advance west and southwest. And this is the middle ground, which actually has no units, as you see. It has only two objectives. The first one on the left will be taken immediately by the Allies. The second on the right will be guarded by an infantry unit. Let's see the Air Force the units composition. As it is before the beginning of the scenario. Here you see the North group, the heavy artillery, lots of anti-aircraft, plus one mobile anti-aircraft. All these units will go back initially and try to establish a perimeter around here, combined with the majority of the fighters in this area, with the objective to destroy the Allied air forces and the Allied armor. We do not intend to stay in this area. We tend to create the defensive perimeter around here. To the south, here we see a lot of auxiliary units, which will be combined with some of our core units and less heavy artillery, and a few of our fighters. In this case only 4 fighters will be here. They will go back to create a distance from this Allied artillery, destroy the advancing Allied units, and then come back and possibly attempting to bypass artillery position and hitting from behind their positions. From this direction, north, west, and from this direction, if it's possible, in order to reach this objective. In the middle, I decided to leave it as it is, which means not putting any units. Beside this pioneer unit, this artillery will go by train to the north group, and this pioneer unit, which will be hopefully entrenched, will not be moved and will cover these objectives by stay there in a defensive position. These two tanks will act as a reserve force. One more final thing before starting the replay is that we will attempt to destroy this mobile anti-aircraft at first, because it creates a lot of danger for our fighters. So let's see how it goes. We're retreating, we are going back as far as possible. All the units from the south. We are still in the south. And this is the north sector. The only reason I'm doing this is to reduce their numbers and thus their experience by taking replacement later. So you see the destruction of the first mobile anti-aircraft, which is a must in my opinion, and then we will attempt the destruction of the second one, and then we will go back a little bit to create the defensive perimeter as told before. Air cover for the tanks. Artillery goes back. You see here we try to eliminate some of their fighters. The pioneer unit stays in here as long as possible. The artillery came up by the train, so to protect these two tanks we see here lots of enemy armor. This is the far, now this is the south. You see the masses of enemy artillery. Let me make a comment here. Let's go to the south. You see the masses of enemy artillery. This is heavy artillery, which you best avoid. That's why we went back, we retreated, and that means that all these allied units will come forward without artillery support. Another thing you might have seen is that this Challenger attacks the Panzer, the young Panzer takes the young Panzer takes a lot of damage. Why? Because it has only 1 star of experience, because we play the Field Marshal difficulty, while the enemy has 3 stars. So one more difficult situation from this map is that we play the Field Marshal difficulty, which means we lack experience versus the allied units who have a lot of experience. The AI spawning units, as usual. Here the attempt is to destroy this unit and then move forward to destroy with long range artillery the mobile flak. Mission accomplished. Here you see in action the Jack Tigers. Look how many units are in the north from the Allied Air Force. We pause here. Let's look in the north. You see the situation. We have retreated further away from the objective. Here in the Bogaz area, we start to create the defensive perimeter, leaving the Panzer Grenadiers in this city with the entrenchments. We have all the flak concentrated here, majority of air force, and you see all these allied enemy units will be taken step by step, all of them down. For the moment we don't care about this area because the enemy will first deal with the fortifications here and then they will stop here. By this time we can switch some of our tanks to cover these two airports. So we have given them the ground to advance. That was our strategy. To the south we see our retreat, and then we see a deviation from the actual plan. A part of the battle group south moves to cover this area in order to cover the target over here. These two panzers remain as a reserve. The pioneers here, the pioneers and here stay as is. They will be used later on when we attack. The bombers have started to move, but actually they are waiting for the enemy fighters to be shot down, and they will start appearing on the battlefield. Let's see how it goes. This is the north sector. Taking out the fighters and then the bombers. A step back to cover the city. and the airports. Here you see the south goes well because here we have created the defensive perimeter at the back, while at the same time a part of the battle group south attacks with success, I can say, to retake these two airports, thus creating the opportunity later on to advance from behind and take the artillery. We shall see. The elimination of the enemy air force in the south, turn 3, permits the first use of our bombers, which are very good against these armored targets. Right. Let's look at the north. You see how an enemy tank came from the back? From the north area. You see how many enemy tanks are here. Very heavy armor indeed. The difficulty here is to cover all our units with their defense, so not permitting any enemy fighter or bomber to attack our heavy range artillery. We're using the bogage to our advantage because if an enemy tank comes here, is dead by default in the bogage. Here we have the Panzer Grenadiers. These Panzer Grenadiers are rather safe. Now they have entrenchment 5, which means they will not be attacked in any case, so they create an anchor to our defense, and our armor units are swinging around in order to destroy the incoming attacks. In the middle we don't see really any advance. They came here and stopped for an unknown reason. Here we have an infantry entrenched. In any case they try to advance. Actually in my game they didn't, and the bombers are in this direction mainly, so to eliminate their attack. You see the artillery, it's not moving. It's good for us. For the moment it's not moving, so it cannot attack. All these units will be destroyed one by one, coming at us. Here we go to the north to see the situation over here. Important, I eliminated this fortification, no reason for being there. I want my movement of units free. Nice hero. Okay, let's pause here to see what we have succeed. Turn 5. Majority of enemy air force is down. The rest will be taken over very soon. The enemy advance stopped from these two King Tigers. Here we hold this city and then we hit with the King Tiger and the Young Panzer. The enemy, the bomber, the first bomber appeared here soon will be another soon more will come. What happens in the south? In the south we do not advance, we let them come here, taken one by one. The same with this city, as you see, just north of the south battle group. We hope for this breakthrough later on, and this through later on, so to avoid their artillery. You see, before this is Tiger 1 was almost obliterated with -7 strength points, hidden by a 7 Firefly with 3 stars of experience. Unfortunately, our tank has only 2 stars of experience due to the field marshal difficulty, and we're taking some damage. But the rest of the battle has been decided, I think, from this at this turn right now, because their force is mostly down. These units are taken by pieces in the south. In the north it's only a matter of time to break them, because soon our air force will come up and join with the destruction. So we'll move forward a little bit of the video to see what's going on in, let's say, turn 8. This is the south area. We still do not advance. We send some bombers to take care of the artillery. Here you see an interesting idea. This unit is gonna act as a paratrooper later on. Will be sent to fly over the enemy from the behind. This is a south situation right now. We are still here. All the units have been destroyed. Only the artillery units remain in their positions. Only King Tigers are at the front in order to avoid their hits. Everything else is behind that, and we are still taking care at the north part of the south battle group. You see the beginning of the road back, the action from the behind, as I told you before. These units will go down to this objective, bypassing all this artillery, which is rather difficult to take, because there are many units. In the center, these units didn't move at all, so we decided to move this Pioneer. Not a very good idea actually, because later on they will take the objective. We will take it back, but it will take some time to take it back. And this is the north. Lots of them in the north corridor above the bogage, because they cannot enter the bogage. The defense continues over here, but we're starting to see clear ground, which means after a while we will launch our attack towards this target and this target. This is the situation. Let's see how it goes. So this is it, let's see the enemy situation right now. In the north, most of their forces have been eliminated. These two units coming from this objective, so the area is clear for us to advance. They have this center area. We'll take it later on, and this objective, which we do not attack, we are still here, far away from their artillery. We are trying to reach this from behind. You see this Tiger 1 trying to reach this objective from behind the artillery. This is the situation. The AI spawns a lot of units, which is silly because basically they spawn anti-aircraft and artillery. This is the last air unit they have. It's parked over here and doing nothing. These units started to leave their defenses in order to come to aid the allied AI attack. Later on, all this will be moved away in order to protect other objectives. Only one of them stands here, so they create an open space for us to attack. It will be much more difficult if they stay here because they have a high entrenchment. This is another aircraft, and we go another 3 turns ahead to see turn 12. Let's pause. We see in the north quite a good progress. Coming to this area, we have the paratroopers drop and a smaller force going this way, basically avoiding this area and growing from behind. Here in the south, here we managed a breakthrough, but we didn't manage breakthrough from the top. Too much infantry, not permitting us to bypass the guns and attack from behind. We have one paratrooper. This is actually an auxiliary unit which I upgraded to paratroopers to make a drop. So we advance another 3 rounds to round 17, 18. Let's hope this works. Okay. This infantry was dropped together with this paratrooper. The north objective was quite empty. Only one unit was here. We bombed it with a level bomber and we took it rather easily, before 10:19, and this force came down all the way here, from here to here, and hit it from behind. The AI is rather stupid because it moves units towards east, toward that position, so we had to stay here with the artillery to protect this area. So all these areas are taken. To the south, finally we managed to break from behind, destroy all these forces. Enemy artillery is taken care of, so the battle is over actually, and we're waiting for the turns to finish with a decisive. So overall the plan was successful. We spent a lot of money before the battle and after the battle repairing the units, upgrading the units. We're using lots of overstrengths. You see King Tigers 2 overstrength 13, and the fighters overstrength, the level bombers overstrength are very effective. There is no other way because their forces are 3 stars, 4 stars, maybe some units even more. They're very, very destructive, so you need to upgrade and overstrength to take this battle So this is it. Let's see the final screen. Thanks for watching.